Hey everybody, it's Saad. In the last 6 months, I've made $1 million using AI and sales automations. In this video, I'm going to show you a live build of an automated system that finds companies that were recently funded, finds the decision maker, personalizes the outreach at scale using advanced AI techniques, and reaches out to them automatically. So by the end of this video, you're going to have a complete step-by-step blueprint on how to build this entire system yourself or for a client, even if you've never used Make.com before. We're going to build it live. I'm going to show you the entire platforms that you're going to need. And I'm also going to include the free blueprint in the description like always. You'll be able to reach out to thousands and thousands of high intent buyers by clicking one button. So if that's something you guys want to be interested in, stay tuned and let's get into it. Okay guys, so let's read through this client's request. Howdy Saad, we want a system build that scrapes IT companies recently funded, Series B, with a budget of $1 million to $25 million. The personas would be founders, CEOs, etc. So basically decision makers. The scraper or the system must be able to find decision makers, enrich using data, and adds them to a hyper-personalized campaign using AI. Okay, so just thinking about this, I know it's going to be a drag and drop lead list probably. I'm not sure about the platforms yet, but we're going to go ahead and see in this video. So let's just go ahead and start scoping in Whimsical. So basically what we want is we want a system that scrapes IT companies recently funded. So essentially we want a scraper. So where are we going to get the data from? So I'm thinking we're going to get the data from Apollo. So it's going to be some sort of drag and drop lead list probably. So yeah, this is what we're going to do basically. So it's going to be a drag and drop lead list scraped from Apollo. And then the system is going to be able to basically enrich and find the decision maker. And then it's going to be able to personalize the data at scale. So we're going to drag and drop a lead list scraped from Apollo, right? And I'm going to show you how we're going to scrape this data from Apollo. And then the next thing, we're going to fetch leads and validate and find decision maker. And then once we find the decision maker, we're going to find their email, or basically validate their email, because the data that we're going to scrape from Apollo, we're going to have the email, and also we're going to find the decision maker. So yeah, so we're going to remove this. So drag and drop, the system is going to validate decision maker's email address, and then it's going to basically scrape. I don't know if we're going to scrape their website page. Probably not. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically perform advanced AI personalization techniques. And then it's going to add everything to instantly, or add to your preferred cold email software. So in our case, we're going to add this to instantly. So add to instantly automatically. Awesome. So this is probably how the system is going to be. So let me fix this for you guys. And then, yeah, so probably this is how it's going to be. And then we're going to go ahead and refine it as we go, because this is a live build. So the first platform that we're going to need basically is going to be Apollo, guys. So Apollo is a lead sourcing database where we can get leads and get access to leads. So the only thing that you have to do to build out this entire project is to basically sign up to Apollo, right? You can go ahead and start your subscription there, or you can go ahead and just start a free account. So I'm going to go to people, right? And then I'm going to start researching for these people, these leads that this client wants, which is IT companies recently funded Series B. That's a pretty hyper-personalized approach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to email status. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on save to send, which is verified, because I only want the verified emails of those decision makers. And then what I'm going to do is I will basically look for United States, just because this client wants leads from United States. So I'm going to click on United States. So it's already 20 million leads. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for industry, and I'm going to look for not keywords. I'm going to look for industries, and it's going to be technology, information, technology, and services. And 2 million, which is pretty good. And then I'm going to go to job titles, and this guy wants to reach out to founders. CEO. I'm going to put in CEO. And then what I'm going to add is basically going to be co-founder. And I'm also going to add co-founder. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I'm left with 55K. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to funding. And I'm going to go, so they want Series B, right? So Series B. So these are all companies that are looking for, that are basically got funded, right? Recently. Awesome. So I have this. And I will go in industry. I'm going to add a bunch more. So technology, nanotechnology. No, not this one. Computers, computer software. I think it's computer and network security. Yes. Awesome. And then computer software. And then IT. More of that would be computer games too, and also internet. Yeah, I'm gonna include internet. I'm also gonna include so my thought process here, guys, is I want 2.5K results, right? So this is what I'm gonna do. Basically, I'm gonna add a couple more job titles, which is going to be partner. So all of these are decision makers, right? I'm gonna add partner, and I'm also gonna add director, because all of these are decision makers. So director. So 4.4K, which is awesome. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go revenue. So this guy wants companies from $1 million. I believe it's $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. And then, so this guy is actually looking for the big pie. And then $25 million. So it's 3K. Awesome. Now I only want 2.5K, but I think I can get away with it. Probably. Yeah, I think I can get away with it. So now that I have this data, the way I'm going to get this data, guys, is unfortunately you have to pay to get all of these data. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a scraper to take this data off. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to need a platform. It's called Apify, which is a full stack platform for web scraping. So there's a ton of scrapers, such as Instagram scrapers, Amazon scrapers, and basically they take data from these platforms and they restructure it, right? Using a bunch of coding geniuses that built these scrapers. So I'm gonna go to console. All you have to do is sign up, right? And then go to console, and the one that I want is Apollo Lead Scraper by this guy, Curious Coder, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to basically this URL, which is net new. I'm gonna copy this URL, go back and paste that in the search URL. Now in the session cookie, all I have to do is install a cookie extractor. It's called edit this cookie, which is this one. So either this one or this one, right? Either this website or the second one. So you're gonna click add, right? And then you're gonna have a extension here, and I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna click on extract, which is this one. So I'm gonna have this one right here. This cookies copy to clipboard, and I'm gonna remove all of the data that's here, and I'm gonna paste that in here. I'm gonna click on get emails, wait for email verification. I'm gonna remove the total numbers of records required, and for proxy, I'm gonna click edit, and I'm gonna click on residential, right? And I'm gonna click on no timeout, right? I'm gonna click save and start. So now the scraper is gonna go and log in on behalf of me using my session cookie, and it's gonna scrape all of this data. Now what we're gonna do is basically I'm gonna pause the recording, and then I'm gonna wait for the scraper to get this data. It's probably going to be 2.7 to 2.8K, just because this scraper cannot scrape more than 2.5K. And the reason why, let me read through the documentation of the scraper. So I would encourage you guys to always read through the documentation of each scraper, right? It's the easiest way to understand it. So this actually requires either a session cookie or login details to work. So even they show you everything that you need. So install cookie editor. How it works, you're gonna put the search URL, and then like they said, do not scrape more than 1K. So we're scraping more just because we are just because we are just because we want. And as you guys can see, use cookies instead of login details whenever it's possible. Yes. And yeah, this is how it works. So this is the documentation and every data that you're gonna get. So if I go back to my run, I'm gonna see that let's see what happened. Oh yeah, so please sign up with a corporate domain or paying plan to do more research. Yeah, so we need basically what we need is a account that is G Suite. So I forgot, and I logged in to my account, which was just Gmail. So there you go, guys. I forgot to talk about this. Whenever you use Apollo, use your account that is fully that is your domain account, right? Essentially. So I'm just gonna copy this URL. So no worries. I'm gonna log out. I'm just gonna use like an account that I have, right? So looks like okay. So I'm gonna click on log out. And then what I'm going to do is I will log in with an account that I have. I think it's this one. Log in with Google. And I'm just going to use this account right here. So pretty good. Now I'm going to go and copy this, edit this cookie. And now I can just see this. So there you go, guys. So Apollo account, this is my account. Now if I go and I'm gonna go to this scraper, and I'm gonna paste in this session cookie. I'm gonna save and start, and then I'm gonna go to the run, the second run, and I will see if you read through this, guys. So okay, account found, blah blah blah, and then it's scraping now, right? Awesome. So we're gonna wait until this ends, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys shortly. Okay guys, so I just scraped 2,000 leads. Now I had to stop the scraper just because I don't want to get rate limited. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait an hour or so, and then I'm gonna scrape another 2,000 leads, just so I don't get rate limited, like I said, and risk my account getting banned. So I have 2,000 leads, which is pretty awesome, guys. So it just took us a little over 19 minutes to scrape 2,000. What I'm gonna do now is basically start building the system, and the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna go to make.com, which is the glue that we're gonna use to build this entire system. So I'm gonna go and click on scenarios, and then I'm gonna go and click on create new scenario, right? And before I do that, I want the system basically to whenever someone drags and drops this lead list, right? So if I click on export, I can export this lead list as CSV, right? So I can export this data. I want whenever someone just goes ahead in their team, just takes that data, right, and uploads it in a Google Drive, like the system is gonna do everything, personalize, reach out, like do everything, right? So this is the system that I'm trying to build. So I'm gonna go to my drive, and I'm gonna create a new drive as an example for you guys to show you how to do it. So I'm gonna go and click on new, right? Click on new, and then this is what you do. So I'm gonna create a new drive, which is a new folder, and I'm just gonna name this lead list, upload lead list. I'm gonna create this folder, which is upload lead list, and I'm gonna go to my scenario, and I'm gonna look for Google Drive, right? And it's going to be a watch files on a folder, right? And then I'm gonna go and search for this folder, which is example upload lead list. And then I'm gonna click on limit, and it's going to be 1, and I'm gonna click on save, basically. So choose where I'm to start from now on and click save. right? Now, if I click on run once, nothing is going to happen because we haven't added anything yet, right? So now if I go to my run and I'm going to click on export and I'm going to click on download, right? I'm going to name this Series B companies top men. And then I'm going to go and basically I'm going to run. I'm going to upload this. So the only thing that someone in their team is going to do this and everything is going to happen, which is pretty awesome, guys. That's pretty easy. So now we added this into the Google folder, right? Now, if I go back to my scenario, if I click run once, there you go. I just retrieved it, right? So this is the URL of basically the drive of the lead list. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and basically there's a file ID, right? So this is the file ID. File ID, which is this one. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Google Sheets and I'm going to retrieve all that data by adding this module, which is search rows. So the way I'm going to do it is basically I'm going to map the spreadsheet ID first, and then I'm going to remap it at the end, and I'm going to explain to you why. So the first thing is I'm going to look for is series companies top men, which is this one. And then it's going to be this one, and limit. I'm just going to put 1, and then I'm going to click save, and I'm going to unlink this so I can just have access to the Google Sheets module, right? So I'm going to click on run once. And basically I have the data. So here are all of the data right here. And then what I'm going to do is basically the next thing I want to do is we want to validate each email that we scrape from Apollo. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to click on this plus button and we're going to look for HTTP, make a request. And the platform that I'm going to be using is going to be mails.so. So mails.so is an email validation tool. I'm going to click on API. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this parameter right here, go back, paste that in here. And then the email is going to be email. And the method is get headers. I'm going to go for mails API key, copy this header, go back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in my API key. Value equals this one, and I'm going to click on OK. Now I'm going to parse this data by adding a JSON model, which is a Parse JSON. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a data right here, and I'm going to research this by clicking on run once, and then I'm going to use their API, and then I'm going to see that the email is okay. So the email is valid. So awesome. Now we can basically validate the email. And the way we're going to do that, I'm going to name this validate email. And then what I want to do is basically personalize the email. So how I am going to do it is I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to look for Claude. And I'm going to click on create a prompt. This is the module that I'm going to be using, right? So I'm going to walk you guys through basically how to use AI to personalize the emails. So essentially when I was scraping, I went ahead and wrote the copy. And here is the copy, guys. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste that in here. And I'm going to show you basically how to use AI to fill in all of your emails. AI it's the worst at writing like entire emails, but it's really good at writing at constrained variables. So this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to click on user text and I'm going to paste this here. So the copy is hey first name. So what I want is I want the first name. The first name is this one, which is going to be this guy right here. Congrats on the recent raise. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. And then congrats on the recent raise. Happy to see company name. So I'm going to add in company name, which is going to be company name. Happy to see that company name is a bit different from all the generic gimmicky IT companies out there. Now, where did I get this copy? So I got it from basically the classroom of the school community that I run. So if I go to my school community, there's a bunch of templates that we can use. If I go to classroom, and then there are a bunch of things here, such as blueprint library, and basically like tech startup scaling series and funding. So you can just copy and paste them. So now what I'm going to do is imagine you're planning to use outbound to gain significant early and high ROI attraction. Now this client, right, it's a lead gen agency, right? So this is the copy that I wrote for them, guys. So hey, first name, congrats on the recent raise. And why we're seeing that is because they got recently funded, right? So happy to see that company name looks a bit different from all the generic gimmicky IT companies out there. So this is kind of like a way to introduce ourselves and like basically slowly ease ourselves into the offer, which is, hey, imagine you're planning to use outbound to gain significant early high ROI attractions. So if so, you could check out my company. So I'm going to basically, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to include their name here. I'm just going to include my name, right? Just to show you guys the example. So if so, you should check out my company. Process, my company. We built a system that lets one smart person send personalized outbound at scale of 50 SDRs. I'd love to show you how it works. Would it be worth it? 15 minutes of your time this week. Sad. So what I'm going to do is basically, this is the template that I'm going to feed AI. I'm going to name this template. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my past blueprints. And then I'm going to look for this right here, this prompt, which is going to be, if I go to a YouTube playground, I'm going to go to 10K growth system. And then it's going to be dream template. I'm just going to copy this. Copy, go back, and I'm going to paste in the prompt. Remove all of this and delete all of this. And then let's just go ahead and try. So we're validating the email, structuring the data, and let's read through the email. So hey, Salman. Congrats on the recent raise. Happy to see that Vital Chat looks a bit different from all the generic gimmicky IT companies out there. Imagine you're planning to use outbound to gain significant early high ROI traction. If so, you should check out my process. My company, we built a system that lets one smart person send personalized outbound at scale of 50 SDRs. I'd love to show you how it works. Would it be worth 15 minutes of your time this week? So now, what I'm going to do basically is add this to instantly by clicking on add, looking for instantly, and its add leads to a campaign. And then I'm going to auto align this. And basically, actually, before we do that, I want to add a filter, which is I'm only going to perform AI personalization if the email is actually valid, right? Because think about it, guys. If the email is not valid, then we don't want anything. So I'm going to click on results equals deliverable. If email is valid, click on save. And then what I'm going to do is basically campaign ID. So I need a campaign. So I'm going to go to my instantly. And then I'm going to log in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on campaign. I'm going to create a new campaign, and it's going to be IT companies, top men. Click on continue. And then, since I don't have any leads, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my system. Let me remove this. And then it's going to be basically, I'm going to retrieve it by clicking on IT companies. So the leads email is going to be the leads email. The first name is going to be, where's the first name? So first name, last name, company name is company name. Personalization is going to be the email. Right? And I'm going to click on save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on run once. So the email is valid. We're generating everything and we add in the lead to instantly. If I go back, so the lead is added. If I go and add in the variable personalization, I'm going to click on preview, and I'm going to have the email. So this is the entire email, right? So awesome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in sent from my iPhone, just because I find it that it helps with reply rates. So there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this right here. And then all you have to do now, guys, is basically, instead of now mapping as in the spreadsheet ID, what you have to do is just add the spreadsheet ID, which is going to be file ID. And the sheet name is going to be name. And click save. Auto align this, and then you're going to save this. So basically, everyone now can just go ahead and basically take this lead list and essentially just adds it to the folder that we talked about, and you can essentially automate the entire system. So there you go, guys. I'm gonna export this for you, and I'm just gonna name this Watch Google Drive, personalize, and add to instantly. I'm gonna save this, copy, and I'm gonna include the free blueprints in the description, guys, for you. Click save. Awesome. So there you go, guys. I believe that's all we have to do. All right, everyone. So that's it. We just built the system in like 30 minutes. This is one of the highest ROI systems that you can build for your own self, or you can build for your own clients and use them for your own clients or your own agency as a sales system agency owner. So I hope you found value in this video. I'm going to include the free blueprints in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.